Yeah. BTV Productions, the Cultural Preservation Station. Tune in. Tune in. Hey yo. Black education, cultural preservation, tailored BTV because elevation. Tune into the station, we rockin' the whole nation. That's right, we rockin' the whole nation, prepping new generation for mental activation. Tailored BTV's the new sensation. Stop the hesitation and learn something new. My girl Taylor B's here to show and prove.
Peace, 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 family. It's your girl, Queen B, and you are tuned into BTV, Black Education Empowers True Vision. And this is a podcast that I call Justice on Earth. The reason I made this podcast is because I'm a Black American, foundational, and I'm really sick and tired of my community always being the brunt of every joke, um, doing all the freedom fighting in this country, and still we don't have justice in this country. We're still systematically shut out of certain aspects of business, um, a lot of different aspects of all the 11 areas of activity, if we actually think about it. There's a stigmatism on the Black American community. So this is why I made Justice on Earth, because it's 2026 and Black Americans still don't have justice on planet Earth. And that's why I made the show, because it's time that we started to point some of this stuff out. Um, point out the things that we feel as though are unfair to our community. There is a huge grassroots delineation movement going on right now with Black Americans. And even in that delineation movement, there are people that are saying that we're being divisive, this, that, and the third. But I want to really make sure that people understand that Black Americans have never been divisive people. We've always been people who welcome others, other cultures, even more so than we welcome some folks from our own culture and ethnicity. So that has never been the case with us. But there has been a lot of activity, I'll say, that goes on that has forced us to delineate. There's a lot of activity and behavior from around the diaspora that has forced us to feel as though we need to delineate. First of all, there's over 43 million of us in this country. So that's number one. We have enough of a population to be our own nation. So really, Black Americans are a nation within a nation. But we are severely systematically cut out of all 11 areas of activity. We're not allowed to get grants for our businesses, a lot of different things that I don't want to go specifically into right now. But I'm saying that to say, a lot of immigrants will come over to this country, and they'll do better than us. They'll get businesses popping, and they'll get things going, and then they'll look at us and say, "Oh, y'all are lazy. Y'all are the stereotypes that the dominant society has said you are." But that's not true. A lot of the stuff that immigrants come over to this country and receive grants, loans, and benefits for are all things that we have been systematically denied in this country. Don't you think it's odd that when you go to the hood, there's a poppy store, there's a Indian store, there's a Chinese store, there's every store except for a Black American store, a Black American restaurant. That's by design. Every time that we have tried to secure loans in our own communities, they're denied. We are systematically denied loans for businesses. We're systematically denied loans for homes. Um, we are preyed upon by corporate America. Uh, we have been placed in what I call, I like to call it a consumer class. They have placed us into a box where we're the consumer class of this country, and I almost feel like that immigrants are told when they come here, don't fool with us. Just use us for our money. We'll buy anything that you have. Um, yeah, we will buy it because we can't buy it from each other. And a lot of the way that it is was done by design, right? So we didn't just get here and wake up and Black Americans are lazy and they don't do this and do that. First of all, we built this country, so there you could never say we're lazy. Okay, the country was built off of our backs. We never received reparations. We never received a payment, not even a sorry. Okay, we didn't even get a sorry. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we have invented nearly all of the modern day inventions that are used in this country and globally. I did a show on that. You can go check that out. It's called 11 Master 11 Inventions by Black Americans. And that's not the only show that I did talking about all the things that we invented, because it's a long list. So I'm saying that to say, even to this day, um, to what's going on right now with ICE and the immigration issue, people want us to get up and join the fight with them. But, you might have some Black Americans that want to get up and join the fight with you, and that's great. Everyone needs to make decisions what's best for themselves. But I can tell you that the majority of Black people are not going out to fight for anybody else. We are tired of fighting for others. We don't get that same fight when the fight comes to our doorstep. When there's something that we're fighting, we don't get the same respect back with that. So that's why we're tired of it. And we're not going to be the scapegoat and be the person that goes out there and gets shot and killed based on a group of people who don't really have that much respect for us. So as you can see, this is why this is the way it is. So I'm saying all that to say, I started this show. I really wanted to just discuss, current event issues, discuss different things that affect our community, different things that we could do to enhance our community and to build our community back up to a level that we wanted to be at. And that's not to say that we're so terrible, but we are in a bad place right now as a community, as a whole. I'm not talking about individuals and us individually. I'm talking about us as a nation of people. We're not walking like we're a nation of people, you guys. We're not acting like a nation of people. So I really just want us to, you know that we have each other. That's number one. And number two, we got to understand that all we have is each other. Because when it comes to us, no one jumps into our fight. Okay. We fight the battles alone. We've done it for centuries. We can continue to do it. But I do feel like we are at a little bit of a standstill right now with the nation, especially with everything that's going on. And this is like really a little bit of a first for us because generally, when the nation is punching down on somebody, we're the people that they're punching down on. But right now, we're not the people they're punching down on. They're punching down on immigrants, which I don't have a dog in the fight. Okay. Um, I wasn't the one that said let immigrants come here, so I'm not the one to say make immigrants leave here. If you ask me, the people who came here and colonized should be the one leaving. But that's neither here nor there. Um, but at the end of the day, we all have to do what's best for us. So I just want to start getting us more prepared, and getting us more aware of everything that's going on and giving us different options for us to move in different ways. And when I say that, I say it to mean, we got to start doing certain things to make sure that we are solidifying our position as a nation, right? I think it's great that I think ABC News did a highlight on foundational Black American inventions. I think it's great that it's going mainstream. Um, and again, with that, that's also another reclassification of us. And, that's another part of our history in this country. Um, they've been reclassifying Black Americans since they got to this country. When they got to this country, they encountered us here on shore. So they already knew that there were a great deal of melanated people here already. Um, And, they do what they do best. They did trickery, trick knowledge. Okay. You know, they, the slave trade absolutely happened. I'm not one of those people who don't think the slave trade happened. But what we got to start understanding, people, is that more than one thing can be true at the same time. So just because a slave trade did happen doesn't mean that there weren't already melanated people here on the shores of America when um, the so-called explorers arrived, right? That doesn't mean that both of those things aren't true. So this is what I mean by we got to get ourselves ready. We got to get our brains ready to start critically thinking about our history, um, and where we want to go and the things that we want to do. Because one thing's for sure, if you do want to build up as a nation, there's certain steps that we have to take to be a viable nation and to be a nation that's taken seriously. Um, so, that's really what I wanted to say. I also wanted to say that there's a lot of proof that we were here in this country when they got here. So if you don't know about that, on this show, I'm going to be doing a lot of different types of things. I might be coming up here and talking to you like this. Um, or I might read a book and read a chapter from a book that I think the family needs to hear. So, or I might come up here and do like a reaction video to something that has happened during the week. So I'm gonna be coming up here more regularly doing these. So I just hope you guys, tune in, share it with a friend, subscribe to the channel. In my shorts, you're going to see a lot of education in the shorts, coupled with hip hop music. So we're gonna be doing that. I do have the other show, the Hip Hop Hour. We're gonna be starting that show back up and bringing some more of our guest MCs on the show to get their stories out there and get their music out there. And I'm going to also be bringing you more entrepreneurs on cultural reflections, so we can get more of our people who are entrepreneurs to get their business out there, so we can start really networking and connecting like a real nation does. Okay. And I'm saying that to say I love you guys. I love my people. I love you. I love us. I call us the us, universal supreme. That's who we are, right? And I want us to love us. So we got to start loving each other. And that means, everything can't be looking at each other in an ice girl type of way. We got to start getting along better. You know what I mean? Not saying everybody's going to get along. Obviously, that's not, we know that. You can't even get along with everybody in your own family. But when it comes to this nation building thing, this is what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to put some of our petty differences and stuff to the side, and we're going to have to start agreeing on some things, and we're going to have to start supporting each other in things, because that's the only true way for a nation to build. And we see this when we look at like some of our old neighborhoods and communities that we had, like Black Wall Street and different communities. We can even look down to Atlanta, to the Black business community down there, and they're doing a great job with supporting each other and coming together, and making sure that they're keeping that dollar in the Black community. So that's what we got to start doing more of families pulling their money together. Everybody, this thing with individualization, that's not something that came from our culture. That's something that was taught to us by the colonizers. They're the ones that want to be individuals. They're the ones that don't want to be around their family. They're the ones that want to break off and make something others, do all this kind of stuff and be so individualized. We always were group um, based culture. We did things in groups. We did things together. We supported each other. And I like to say that prior to the civil rights movement, we didn't have a choice but to work together, right? We didn't have a choice. We had to buy something from Miss Betty's shop, or Mr. Tom's shop. We had to do that because we simply were not allowed to do stuff with the dominant society. So I say that to say that's what we need to get back to. So even if it's not that way, you know um deemed by society, we can make our own rules like we always do. You know what I mean? So to me, make your own rule, But the rule should be that I'm going to support somebody that's my people. Do the best you can with that. But that's why we got to keep these types of shows going, so we know who people are. So we know, who has bakeries, who can sew, who makes clothes, who makes bags, who makes shoes, who does hair, who's a numerologist, whatever it is. We got to have access to those resources, and we got to know about them. So, that's all I want us to do. I want us to get more in tune with each other. And I want us to really, we're on a precipice. The world is changing. Right now, we're in a astrological cycle where we were during the Civil War. Okay. And what was the Civil War for? The Civil War was about us, right? They fought that war. I mean, it was really about money and taxes and all that kind of stuff, but who made them the money and the taxes? We did. We was the cattle, right? We was the stock, if you will. We were the people who we were the commodity. So again, everything that this country is built on is about us. We know that, and for people who don't know that, now you know that. And if you don't know that, then you need to subscribe to this channel so you can learn more about that, or you need to start doing your own research, because it's no excuse in 2026 that anybody should have to not understand their true history. um, for people to try to go ahead and make fun of you, talk about you don't know where you come from and all this kind of stuff. All of us, matter of fact, we're probably the only people who actually know where we come from, because everybody else don't have records the way our records were kept. Okay. So, this is a part of a lot of what I want to bring to the family, you know, different things that I think that we can do to keep ourselves on the up and up, keep ourselves nation building, keep ourselves busy and occupied with doing positive things that are going to bring positive changes for our community, for our nation, because it's 2026. In 4 more years, it'll be 2030, guys. And if we don't start making preparations now, a lot of us are going to get left behind. A lot of us aren't going to be able to survive in 2030 because of the changes that are going on globally, the changes that are going on economically, technologically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically, like all of the above. There are big changes happening, and I don't want our people to be left behind. We are the forerunners. We should be at the forefront of these changes. And I really say that, especially to the Black men out there. I want to say salute to all y'all, and kings up to the Black men out there, because y'all really do have it the hardest. I've said this before on several shows. You're treated the worst and you have it the hardest. You are denied the most resources. You're denied way more resources than Black women. When I went to college, I had resources to get grants. I had all these different things I could do, but a lot of that wasn't present for Black males. Okay. And Black males are already looked at when they start kindergarten. You guys are already looked at as criminals when you're like 5 years old. So you're looked at as a grown adult, and that you potentially are going to do criminal behavior in a damn kindergarten classroom. So, there's evidence to prove this stuff that I'm saying. I'm not just saying it. I don't have it right here in front of me. But, it's evidence that I could pull out and that we could get into. But, I'm saying it to say we got to look out for us, you guys. No one's looking out for us. Okay. You got to be your own advocate. So you got to advocate for yourself, then you got to advocate for your family, for your kids, for your husband, if you're a woman, if you're a man, for your wife. Y'all need to do things to try to stick together. Okay. We got to stick together. And all of this gender wars between Black Americans, that shit needs to stop. There's no gender war between us. So get that out of your head right now. When people tell a lie long enough, then it starts to sound like the truth. Okay. Get that out your head. Stop allowing people to separate us, and use your own good common sense when you're dealing with someone from the opposite sex. Okay. Stop all of this. A man has to pay a woman to go on a date. You got to pay, you got to have money. You don't got a car, you don't got money, or you can't date me. That shit's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. You got to stop doing that. You got to, because first of all, not to sound like Kevin Samuel, but you might end up dying alone. Like no man's going to want you if that's your attitude. That's first of all, no man's going to want you if that's your attitude. And it really is sour. You're souring the dating pool with that. There's a lot of people who are doing that. And it is really seems like that's what's going around. And I hear a lot of men complaining about that. And y'all got to knock that shit off, yo. Like you can't be out here, you out here acting like a whore. Like if you want to be a whore, then be a whore. Like if that's what you want to be that. And I ain't mad at you. Like if that's what you want to be, then you can be that. But don't portray yourself that you're out here being like, you know, a good woman or a nice young lady, and this is what you're out here doing. You're half dressed and you're asking for money. That's what hoes do. I'm sorry. So if you don't want to be a hoe, then you need to stop doing that shit because that's what the men are looking at y'all like. Now you can sit there and say you don't care this, that, and the third. Okay, you may not care now, but you're going to care later. Okay, when you're alone and you don't have nobody, you're going to care later. Don't you care about your children, having a father in their life? These are the types of things we got to get back to, family. Because when you look at what they wanted to do to destroy us, what do they talk about? They talk about destroying the family unit. J. Edgar Hoover has said that. He was the head of the FBI back in the 60s, in the 70s. Okay. They said the number one enemy to this country is the Black American family unit. So if that's the number one enemy, y'all are doing a bang up job of helping them with that enemy. So we got to stop that. Like we have to turn our ear off to this bullshit on the internet. Like this internet shit has got people's mind gassed up, capped up, to make you believe that you're something that you're not. Okay. Just because you got followers on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, it first of all, even if it did make you a celebrity, they human too. Like what they supposed to be better than us? This is the problem in our community. Like this idol worshiping bullshit. Oh, they're a celebrity, so you gonna follow what they doing. How about fucking following your own mind? What about that? Do you have a mind to follow? Do you have thoughts that you can follow yourself? Because celebrities ain't who we're supposed to be looking up to. And newsflash, you shouldn't even be having half of that shit on in the car around your damn kids when you're driving, to your errands and stuff with the kids in the car. You need to turn that shit off. It's not good for the kids to be hearing that nasty ass music that be played on the radio. It's nasty and it's trifling. And just because you like it and you might be nasty and trifling, don't make your babies nasty and trifling. Like the babies are innocent. Try to raise them right. Raise them with the right mindset, yo. They're our future. And a lot of the shit that is happening is making it seem like the stereotypes they say about us are true. So a lot of the shit that y'all do, you're proving them right. You're proving them right. So, we have to say in the narrative. We get to decide who we are as a nation. Okay. You're always going to have people in nations that are the lower class. We understand that. But the problem with us in this country is that it's like the celebrities are looked at as our leaders or something. And y'all should know that's not true because what do they do to our leaders? Anybody that has really been a leader of Black Americans has been unalived or thrown in jail. So that right there should tell you that these fake ass celebrities that are fake, these celebrities are fake. They're not your leader. Stop trying to listen to them and follow every little thing they do. Follow your own mind. Read a damn book. Follow your heart. Do something right for your children. Put them in a damn extracurricular activity. Help them with their homework. You know what I mean? Like, If we want to get better as a nation, we got to fucking nation build. You cannot get better as a nation and you sitting around here trying to mimic celebrities that already got their payday. Those celebrities are paid to be ignorant. And then you're feeding right into it. So this is what I'm saying. This is why I made Justice on Earth. And I really don't care um who don't agree with me. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to like me. You don't gotta like what I'm saying. You don't have to agree with what I'm saying. That's fine. But the shit that I'm saying is real and it's the truth. So we really do need to do better as a people. Like we need to do better. And I really want to give a shout out to the grassroots, to the Black American grassroots. Um, keep standing 10 toes down. Like y'all are doing y'all thing. See a lot of y'all out there doing your thing. I met a lot of people when I went to the reparations rally in 2022. Okay. And it's a beautiful thing. Like when I went there, I took my daughter to that rally. I had a beautiful time. And it was just nice to be around others in our nation that was like-minded. And we were out there for a goal for our future. That's what we should be doing. Look at our history, yo. Look at who we were in the 60s and before that. We fought tooth and nail for everything we got. We had to fight for this shit, yo. None of this was handed to us. We fought with our lives, with our ancestors. They fought with their lives for this. They died for this. They died so we could be sitting here right now. So you telling me they died for you to be showing your ass on fucking Instagram all day in front of your kids with your kids in the background in the mirror? I see your kids in the background while you doing all this in the mirror. Like what kind of mother is that? Do better. Do better. It starts with us. We are the women. We are the backbone of the community. We are what gives our men strength to go out and fight for us. Okay? So just do better. Do better. This is why I made royalty rules. That's what it is. It's royalty. We are royalty. But you're not royalty if you don't choose yourself to be that. So not all of us are royalty, but all of us have the potential to be royalty. So royalty rules, the rules. These are the rules. You got to respect yourself. Respect is the first rule. Respect yourself, respect your family, and then respect your community. And that means being respectful, looking respectful, being presentable. Okay? Goes a long way, y'all. It goes a long way. The second one is understanding. You got to be understanding. You can't build no nation without understanding. If not, you have what we have, chaos. All these single family homes, um, homes with no mother, and the children are going to prison before they're even 13 years old. They're in detention centers. Kids need their dad, yo. They need their dad. I don't care if you don't like him. You ain't got to like him. You liked him when you laid with him, but that's beside the point. You don't have to like him because y'all made a new human being, and that new human being has every right to have their father in their life, especially if they're a boy. They need their dad. They need their dad. We were a warrior class of people, and we have lost that because we are too complacent and too comfortable with crumbs. I'm not comfortable with crumbs. Like, I don't like the way we're viewed. I don't like the way we're treated as a nation. I don't like the benign neglect we receive. I don't like being systematically shut out of home loans, of business loans, of every time we get a leg up, there's something else pulling us back. I'm not a fan of that. So, you know, we can do better. It's up to us. It's up to us to make better decisions, better choices to do better. And a lot of what I do here is to help us do that. Okay? I can help us do that through esoteric knowledge, through spiritual knowledge, through astronumerology. I can help us do that right here in the physical through normal book knowledge, normal history. Okay. When you really know your real history, you would not act like that. See, that's how I know that y'all don't know y'all history. You don't know it. You think your history is what they taught you. That's what you think about yourself. It has to be for you to be acting like the way that a lot of us act out here. You got to think that. So do some studying because I'm not saying we can't have fun. Of course, we should be having fun, but you got to take care of your priorities first. And right now, there's a lot going on with our nation. Um, we're standing up for ourselves, and I'm proud of us for that. I love all y'all. I'm proud of y'all. Um, stand 10 toes down. Don't give in. Don't give in. You know what I mean? Shout out to my boy Melrose Mike. You know what I mean? He's up there in New York, 10 toes down on the ground, talking greasy to whomever. Okay. You know, and I ain't saying it's all about that, but sometimes it is about that. It's different ways that you got to handle different things sometimes. And I'm not here to preach hate. I don't hate nobody. I love all people, especially if you've been respectful to me, then I'm going to be respectful to you. And I think to me, that's how I think all of us as Black Americans are. We're very respectful people. Shit, our parents raised us with manners and shit. We wasn't allowed to even call no neighbor by their first name. That had to be Miss Joan. Ain't no Joan. Let you call your neighbor Joan and get smacked the shit out of you. We learn etiquette, we learn manners. So why aren't we teaching it to our own kids? Why aren't we holding our own kids to some of those same standards? Not saying all of them because, there were other things that were bad, but we're at a time where the knowledge is there. Be empowered. Be empowered with that knowledge. The third rule is love. You got to love yourself in order for you to love your spouse, your family, and then your community. Because if you don't love yourself, you're not going to love this nation. And when I say love yourself, that means love the good and the bad about you. And that's why I'm up here talking the shit I'm talking right now. Because I do love us, the good and the bad. I love both. Okay. But I want us to get prioritized because right now it's not a time to play around. It's not a time to be divisive with each other within our own culture. It's a time to come together. It's a time to be a family. Women, you are going to need protection. So I hope that BBL can protect you since that's what you think is so fucking important. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. You're going to need protection. All right. Men, you're going to need us to help grow food, cook the food, help raise the kids while y'all are out protecting us. Because I'm telling you, there's a lot that's about to change in this landscape. And people think it's a game out here. You think it's a game out here, but we're under spiritual warfare right now. And things are about to change. And when those changes start happening, we're not going to be prepared because you can't be prepared while you partying and bullshitting and listening to, you know, Cardi B or worrying about the beef that they got and who's the baby mama and all this other bullshit that don't line your pocket and don't help us advance as a nation. So that's what it's about. It's about nation building. We've been here over the 500 years that they claim they brought us here. That's another thing that I didn't even get into. the first enslaved Africans brought here. You know what date that was? August 20th, 1619. Now, August 20th is my born day. And 1619 is exactly 360 years prior to me being born. A whole 360 on my born day. So I was born for this. You know, I feel like I was born for this. I'm born for it. I'm ready for it. There's a reason that we was all sent here. And if you don't know that reason, get with me. I'm gonna help you find your reason. We can help you find that through astronumerology. Okay? Find what is your life path? What is your destiny? What was you sent to the earth to do? Because you damn sure wasn't sent here to get a BBL and twerk and talk shit on men. And I'm talking directly to the ladies right now. Okay? You weren't sent here to do that. Especially if you are of this bloodline. We're freedom fighters and we've been sent here for a specific purpose. Okay. So till we get that through our head and start doing better, we're gonna be the butt of the joke. We're gonna be the butt of these jokes, All this crap online, oh, we don't know where we came from, which I think is really crazy. Like I'm not even gonna get into what I really want to say about that right now. I might save that for another time. But all I can say to that is for those that are around the diaspora, knock it off. Knock that shit off, yo. Stop. Stop doing that shit. Stop talking shit on us. Stop saying we don't know where we come from, because half of y'all don't neither. So please do not do that, because you sound dumb as hell. And you're just letting us know that you don't know shit about history when you say it. That's number one. Number two, for those that are in America, do some research, please. Because if it wasn't for Black Americans and the freedom fighting that we did, your Black ass wouldn't even be here. Okay? You would not be here. They were not letting y'all immigrate here, period. I have statistics on it. I got the dates when all of you started coming here. And I don't know if when you did get here, there was a welcome package that said on the inside, treat Black Americans like shit. I think that wasn't your welcome package, because that's how a lot of y'all do. Not all of you, the majority. There's a big majority that have a mindset about us. So you can get on here and say what you want. I welcome your comments below. Please put them below. I'll comment back with you. Like I don't care what you say. What you say don't make me shit. It don't make me cry. So you can say what you want in the comments. It don't hurt my feelings. Let's get it cracking. What you got to say? What's your theory on it? Because my theory on it is we did all that freedom fighting and work to put in for melanated people to be able to immigrate here, because in our minds we're thinking, oh, when they get here, we a family, we all a family, they gonna help us, we gonna get together, they gonna get on our team, and we gonna really fight the dominant society, we gonna really get our rights, and we gonna have numbers. And that shit was the total opposite. That's why I said I think in your packet there was a welcome letter that said treat us like shit. And here's the stereotypes of what they are. Stay away from them, because a lot of yous all have that same look on your face when you deal with us, and we see it and we feel it and we know what it is. Ain't nothing stupid about us. Okay, we've been dealing with this enemy for longer than any of you, and we know him a lot better than a lot of you. And the majority of us are not willing to bootlick him like a lot of you. And that's just the bottom line truth to it. And it's not that, and I'm not saying that to try to diss nobody, but I'm just not doing that. A lot of us are not doing that. We're not bootlicking the person that tore our damn nation down. Like, we're just not doing that. We're all here together. We'd be very cordial, because we have only ever wanted peace. Black Americans. That's all we've ever wanted, was peace and the ability to be a human being without being interrupted. Okay, that's all we've ever wanted. So, you know, if people are on code with that and are on code with us, then we cool with you. Like, I don't have no problem with nobody. But don't come around me talking shit on my people, talking shit on the people in my nation, um, down talking them even when they're doing bad. I don't care. I don't want to hear that shit. I could talk about them, but you can't. That's just like family. Like, you're not gonna talk about my family. And we're family and we gotta stick together. So I was gonna come on here and do a whole different show. I was gonna read about the explorers when they came here before their 1619 date, to let you know that, we was here. We was here when they got here. And even with something that y'all's boy Columbus says in his diary, should let you know that it was us that he was dealing with and not the Siberians. So I'm gonna pull that out. So we're gonna get that pulled out at some point. But just when you come on and you see this Justice on Earth, just know it could be me coming up here to read a book that I think I need to share with the family. It could be me giving a message like I just did tonight because it just was in my spirit to sit here and do it. Like, I don't, whatever. Like, I felt like saying it. Usually I don't even do that. I bite my tongue a lot. I don't say a lot of things, but it's 2026 and that day's over. Like, ain't no more of that. It is what it is. I think I'm going to be up here next doing some reaction videos to some of this nonsense that's going on. Give my reaction to it. And I welcome your comments below. So I want to say peace and love to anybody that's stuck in with me with this live, with this video. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. And if you want to hear more real, raw material, then subscribe, share it with a friend, because we're going to be bringing some books. We're going to be reading some chapters that need to be read to people that they need to hear so we can make our point. We're going to be doing some reactions, and I'm going to be coming up here with messages. Like, when my heart feels like it's time for me to come up here and say what I got to say, I'm going to do it. And I honestly don't give a damn who likes it and who don't. If you don't like it, kick rocks and get the hell off my channel. That's all it is. It's the end of the day. That's the end of it. Like, it ain't no kissing nobody's ass and all that kind of shit. Like, I'm tired of dealing with people who don't want to deal with me. That's over too. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, if you put yourself in a box, you gonna fucking stay there. You know, I don't let others change my character and all that. Because stand 10 toes down on who you are. But when people show you who they are, you need to believe them. Because if you don't believe them, you're gonna be the one sitting out and being the butt of that joke. And best believe they talking shit on you, because that's what people do best. So, I hope this was more of a positive message than a negative one. Let me give you the rest of the rules, because I stopped there because I was going off on a tangent. But I'm going to tell you the royalty rules. It's respect, understanding, love, empowerment, and support. And that spells out rules. Okay. We're royals. So if you want to, forge on through to 2030 with the right mindset, then you need to get on board with me, with my channel, BTV. Okay. You can also subscribe on Numeralytics. That's all esoteric knowledge over there. It's all esoteric over there. I do some cultural stuff, but it's mostly me breaking down numbers. But on BTV, we're going to be talking the real. So I wanted to bring the Giovanni di Verrazzano journal entry to you today, but my spirit said no. Talk to your folks and say what you got to say. So I did that. So maybe I'll do that the next time I come on. And I also definitely want to go over the 70 cultural ascension principles that I have curated especially for my Black American brethren. I love you guys. Um, just keep being good to each other. Grassroots, keep them 10 toes down and keep your foot on their neck. And don't accept anything less, because we've never been less. We've always been more. And we will continue to be more. And like I said, We are Black American greats. We are the bag. We've been the bag, and we're going to continue to be the bag. Peace, love, and kings and queens up. Holler at your girl.
Queens up in your